Yo, what's up, man? It's hot as heck outside, but I had a little bit of time, so I figured I'd do do a video, man. Um, I'm just gonna jump right into it. This is a pretty unhappy topic, but it's subjective, you know what I'm saying, and definitely predicated upon your perspective, and that is breakups. Um, I had a whole bunch of different things I was thinking about. Excuse me, my allergies are acting up. I had a bunch of stuff I was thinking about video wise, and I've been having a bunch of ideas. So some of them I wrote down, some of them I didn't, but some of them are still kind of rolling around in my head. But I wanted to talk about this because I believe it's pertinent. I got two friends have gone through a breakup, and I recently it hasn't even been I think 3 months that I've been out of the one that I was in, but I'll talk about that mine in contrast to other two that I know of as well. But um, one of the things about breakups, so I'm gonna talk about 3 points and then three other points that kind of on a brighter side of it. The first point is that breakups are necessary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know we don't like to accept that or realize that or just totally um, let that be the case, but they're necessary because we can grow from a relationship standpoint, personal standpoint, and life standpoint. Like for example, sometimes you can realize after a breakup that you are selfish, or that you were not very relationship centered. You were thinking more about what you wanted, which is still selfish, but I mean, it could be selfish, like didn't share your food, didn't share your money, whatever, I mean, and it depends on your relationship and what's going on. But, it's necessary for you to be able to, experience change, which is difficult, like a breakup, you know. But, all these things are necessary, you know, are basically the result of a breakup, but they're necessary for you to continue to grow because we should always be growing in life. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get in a breakup and I mean we get in a situation, a relationship, and we realize it's like potentially looming or we see something that's not right, but we don't want to leave a situation because we're like, oh, we're comfortable or we still want to keep sleeping with the person or you still want to be reaping some sort of benefit, which is the wrong reason to stay in a relationship. But we all know what happens. Um, the next thing is they're hard. It's hard to confront, you know, things, I don't know, issues in a relationship. It's hard to, have to sit with really difficult and painful emotions, you know what I'm saying? And it's also hard, again, like I said a couple seconds ago, the change is hard. Even though it's good, it's still hard. I mean, most of the time, change is one of them things you just, you're not like, yeah, I want to go through some sort of thing that's gonna totally, make me uncomfortable and have to completely change, all the things that I've accepted as normal up to this point. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of them things that makes it difficult. But the thing about it is, even though it's hard, once you're done, you get to the other side of it over time, and you realize, you look back at it, the whole hindsight 2020, you're not tripping. But then also sometimes you look back at it and you look at things fondly. I look at certain relationships and situations, even ones where I was really sad when we split up, and I look back on them fondly for a multitude of reasons. Sometimes it was things that we did, excuse me. Sometimes, travel places, whatever, or even physical experiences or the fact that we had fun, you know. I look back on one girl I was with. It's funny, I saw her a couple of weeks ago. We had the best inside jokes. I mean, we just knew each other well and all this stuff. But of course, that's a relationship that I messed up. But nonetheless, my point is, I look back on it, and it doesn't hurt like it used to. I mean, I still love her though, believe it or not, but it don't hurt like it did when we first split up. Um, but I look back fondly on a lot of things that we did. Man, we had a lot of fun, not just physically. We had fun, like we had, like I said, inside jokes. We had things we like to do, places we like to go. We had a lot of fun. I really liked her. That's another thing I look back on, and not just the times, the fact that she was a girl that I just really genuinely liked. And from that relationship, I learned that it's important to like whoever you're with. Like them, genuinely like them, not like just, oh yeah, she looks good. No, like her. Anyway, the other thing is that we avoid breakups. Sometimes we avoid the situation, we avoid the talk, we avoid the person, or even certain people that know things going on in our relationship. But it's just us trying to, figure out a way to dodge avoid or delay the inevitable, which is the breakup. But again, like I said in the other two previous points, even though they're difficult, these are things that are segues to open a door to things like personal growth. And believe me, I can speak from experience, and I'll try not to make too long of this video, but I'll try and touch upon stuff with mine. So I'm gonna touch upon the other side of breakups, things that are good. When you go, well, okay, things you can do to help you through a breakup. That's what I have to talk about. I'm trying to be more organized with the videos, but anyway, one of the first things is something I talked about in a video a little while ago, and that's acceptance. Speaking from a man's perspective, but I'll talk about women too. But as a man and as men, talking to my brothers out there, you just have to, when when something's not right with you and your girl, and if your girls talk about leaving you or whatever, or if you can feel it, just like she can feel it, but she really knows because women are so in tune with their emotions, but you can feel it too. So when you realize that's coming, or even at the point when she actually does break up with you, the best thing for you to do is just accept it. Let's use me as an example. When the chick I was with broke up with me, the second time she broke up with me twice, and I'll talk about that in another video, but it's fine because it all worked out anyway. We're not together because I don't want to be together, which is another thing. Because I exercised acceptance, it left the door open for, us to reconcile, which it did. Because I didn't take it in a way like she wanted to break up, and I was like, okay. And I said this before in the video, but I was like, you know what? Okay. I was like, I understand, this and that. I ain't gonna discuss it with you or nothing like that, but all right. You exercise acceptance in a relationship, and I told you before, and I'm telling you in my situation, it leaves the door open for reconciliation. It leaves the door open for a lot of things. I've had situations with girls where things didn't go good, and I was cool with it, and then later the girl sometimes years later, sometimes months, sometimes weeks, the girl wants to come back because she realizes she misses you. And then you're in a position where you can decide how you want to go forward. And guys, it's not about power over a woman. It's about recognizing that you actually, well, first of all, it's about recognizing that emotions get whatever they get. Sometimes you get mad or upset or whatever. You feel strongly about this and she feels strongly about that. And then sometimes it comes to a head and bam, and next thing you know, you're broke up. Which is fine because you don't want to make a habit out of this. But sometimes that happens. But even when that happens, you still have to approach it differently because the relationship is now over. So you have to approach it a different way. But what I'm saying is the things that brought you all together in the first place are still there. So you just have to approach the situation and how you're going to go about it a different way. Maybe you might go from boyfriend and girlfriend to, friends who sleep with each other sometime. Or, she's familiar with you. I mean, there's all kind of things. But you have to go about it in a way where you're not going to be damaging to, yourself or to the other person. Because that's another thing about acceptance in relationships. You can love a girl and she can want to come back and sleep with you, but maybe it's too hard for you. Or it could be too hard for her to sleep with you. I've dealt with that before where there was a girl, we split up and we got back together and we slept together for a while and she just couldn't take it. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with you? But I mean, I get it, you know what I'm saying? But, you just have to be, realistic. And acceptance is really the best way for you to be realistic and for you to be in the best place to kind of set yourself in position for things to go forward in a positive, productive, helpful, wonderful manner. The second thing is accountability. Man, I talked about it kind of a second ago when I was talking about the first 3 points. But remember this, it takes two, man. Everybody, a lot of times in relationships, especially when we're hurt, right? Both parties are hurt. Oh, it's this and she that. And then she's like, he this and he that. Look, man, it takes two. But again, speaking from the perspective of guys, right? Because we're guys, that's primarily who I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? And speaking from experience, when you're accountable, you know what I'm saying, it allows you to see stuff and allows you to kind of, it's like you accept it and then you're like, you know what, maybe I could have been, or I shouldn't have been calling her a B. I don't do that, but, some people do. I should have been calling her a B, or I should have been telling her to F off, or, I should have been more understanding about the fact that, she had epileptic seizures. I don't know, whatever it is, but when you recognize areas where you could have done better, accountability is really the tool that you employ to get yourself there. But you're going to be that much better once you employ these first two things I talked about. The third thing is introspection. You do introspection and you figure out, you You look at the past, which is a relationship, but even past relationships. Because one of the things that I learned from introspection after a breakup is you start to see patterns. I recognize patterns in my life and stuff that I was doing and not doing by doing introspection. You're going through a breakup, you're sad, but then you take the time and you're like, let me exercise some introspection. And you're like, I've seen the same pattern the last 2, 3, sometimes 4 relationships I've been in, depending upon how long they're. I've had, most of my relationships are pretty long. And my dealings with women are pretty long. I mean, sometimes they're quick, but it depends on the protocol. Like if she was just a chick I met on a humble and we just kind of linked up or whatever. But the relationships I've had have been long. But again, you do that introspection on the past and you're like, I see the same pattern. For me, that is something that I did. And it helped me recognize how to be better going forward. And man, it made such a difference. It really did. All you got to do is be brave enough to kind of step into that zone of discomfort. Look, it's something I talk about, and I'm going to talk about in another video. Lean into discomfort. Lean into it. I know it. You got, I'm going to hurt, I'm going to cry, all that stuff, whatever. You gotta, if you know what's happening, like I said earlier in the thing about them being necessary, you know it's necessary, so come on and let's lean into it. It's kind of like ripping that Band-Aid off, or it's kind of like, that dude, when you're a kid and he's been bullying you and eventually you gotta fight him. You've been avoiding it, but he's gonna bully you until you punch him, right? But then you fight him and you're like, all right, cool, now you're there. It's happening. So now only thing that can happen is it's going to get better from here. You're going to fight him, and then whatever's going to happen. But, he's going to respect you. He ain't going to bully you anymore, but it only gets better. But it's the same way with introspection. You go lean into that discomfort, that uncomfortable situation, and then you use introspection as a way to derive and extract all sorts of good, messages and lessons and even healing. I know I don't want to sound all like a chick or whatever, but you know what I mean. You do heal, man. I use me as an example. I healed from a lot of that stuff, but introspection was one of my favorite tools, man. So I'm gonna come to a close in a couple minutes, but I just wanted to say the reason why breakups are something I decided to talk about, even amidst all this other stuff that was going around in my head, is again, like I said earlier in the video, I know people who are going through them right now, and I want to speak to this one point. One of my boys just broke up with his girl, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna get into details, but I'm seeing him going through that and I'm watching it, and you can see a lot of things as far as stuff that you see in relationships and all that. But I'm just saying it's a discomfort, better yet uncomfortable, and there's a lot of discomfort that you feel as a result because it's the shift, the change. I got another friend who's going through a breakup. Her man broke up with her, and this is what I want to speak to for us guys. Listen, a lot of guys, man, and I said before about, stuff with when I said women are not your adversaries. Yeah, a lot of us have been hurt. Look, I'm at the front of the line. I've been hurt, you know what I'm saying? But women hurt too. Look, this girl I know, look, as I'm making this video, she's texting me right now. Listen, she is distraught. She's one of my boys' exes, which is why I don't mess with her, but we're cool. But man, she broke up with this dude that she got with after she was with my boy, and she is she's distraught. She's calling me, she's texting me. I'm gonna talk with her because I can tell she just needs that comfort. But my point is, regardless of that, and we're just friends. The point I'm making is, guys, understand, we do hurt as men. When women hurt us, and but it goes both ways. Women are out here hurting. Listen, they're hurting from breakups, like my friend is, she's hurting. She's like, I couldn't sleep last night. I turned my phone off and, I just didn't know what to do. And I'm just, he's gone and I don't know what I'm going to do. She's texting me right now. As I'm making this video, I'm seeing her text pop up on my phone. But I'll talk to her in a bit. But the thing about it is, women are hurting from being broken up with. They're hurting for good men, which is why we have to learn, exercise, and implement the tools of game in our life. When you become a better guy, you don't just, you're better across the board. And when you're better for yourself, you're better for the world. And when you're better for the world, you're also better for women. The more of us that do things honorable, like not sleeping with each other's, girlfriends, and not hating on other dudes for different reasons. I'm gonna do a video on that too. But, being good to each other, truly being brothers to each other, supporting each other and understanding that we're going through stuff. This was gonna make it all better. But like I said, women are out here hurting for, you know, men are leaving them. They're hurting for good men because they see this world where they just want a man that they can love and you know and you know get onto a program and follow behind a good man, you know, who's a good leader and is strong and honorable and all these things. But this is what we strive for on this channel, you know what I'm saying? So I set out to say this, man. Women hurt too over breakups, man. Even when a woman leaves you that wanted to leave you, she's still hurting. Sometimes she will lament and cry about that breakup when you're sleeping. I learned this a while ago. Women will cry out whatever they're going through before they break up with you, because whatever they have left for you that they, you know, sometimes it's a lot, but they realize they have to leave. Um, they will hurt before they break up with you. And then that's why guys like, I don't understand why she don't care. She does care. You just didn't see all the stuff that she was going through before she got to the point she broke up with you. So, you know, like I said, they're necessary. You know what I'm saying? Definitely necessary, because the last point, like I made, the introspection, you know what I'm saying, is something that's going to help. It's going to help you going forward. It's going to help change your perspective. It's going to help you grow. It's going to help you be better to the next person, or even possibly that person again. But what you have to do is, again, lean into that discomfort and understand that in some cases, the breakup is necessary. Sometimes you break up and then you recoup. It's like taking an L. You know, we lost the battle, but we're going to win the war. Sometimes our breakup is like that. The battle is you and her. Y'all are trying to make it work. Like that song by James Ingram, Just Once. You know, just once, can we find a way to finally make it right? You know, but it's like that. You just like, man, you know, I love her, but sometimes you have to step back, separate yourself, clear your head. What is it? Cooler heads prevail. And then you come back and you say, okay, we lost this battle. That was the breakup, you know, but then you can win the war. A lot of people say, oh, I don't believe in going backwards. That's not, I see where people mean with that as far as going backwards, but in life we have to go through, and sometimes it takes us time to learn lessons and even mature. So you could break up with somebody because you weren't mature, but then or you had an addiction, or you were going through, you know, some family situations. There are all kind of things that can impact your relationship that can cause a breakup. So I agree with it, and a lot of the cats I know that I learned from, and that I kind of, that I rock with. You know, a lot of them, oh, don't go back, and that's cool, you know. But the one wonderful thing about people saying going through back with someone you broke up with going backwards is just an opinion. That's their opinion. This is my opinion. I'm not saying every breakup you should go back, but sometimes you can. And I'll do a video at some point about that, but we'll see. I may even just end up coaching about helping you get a person back. But, you know, you split up and sometimes, and you like, you know what, let the cooler heads prevail. Then you see things because you're not in emotion, you know, clouded with emotion, like I said earlier in the video, right? And then you realize, okay, and then you come back together, and then you realize these are the things that we have to do. You realize I had to go through this growth to be ready to be the man you need. Or for her, she had to go through growth to be the woman that you needed or wanted, you know, you know what I mean? But anyway, look, y'all, I know it's a difficult topic, and then some people are probably affected by this, but, you know, I mean, it's a part of life, and it's one of those things that's necessary. And if you can get yourself to and don't do anything. Don't be impulsive. If you're going to break it up with your girl, or if you're a girl about to break up with a dude, don't be impulsive. Give it some thought. Because the last thing you want to do is say or do something out of emotion where you weren't thinking, because you don't want to make the situation worse. So anyway, like I always say, you know, be the man because you are the man, and like, share, and subscribe. I didn't mean to make this video so long, but I'm just speaking from my heart. So I hope that y'all can get something from this, man. You know what I'm saying? Anyone that's dealing with this, look into this, you know, extract whatever points that you can, you know what I'm saying? And just, you know, do better and be better. And you will. All right, man. Again, be the man because you are the man. All right, peace.